up everyone? My name is Andrew. If you don't know me, you should subscribe because why not? You should also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload as soon as I upload. But anyway, today I'm going to be doing a book haul, and I have no business doing a book haul, but here I am, and here you are, and here we are doing this. First, I'm going to show you guys some of the new releases that I've got recently, and then I'll go into all of the older books that I picked up that I'm super excited about still, but I figured that you probably want to see the new releases first, so we'll start with those. First book I have to show you guys is Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. This book is Twilight, but in Edward's perspective. You've probably heard a little bit about it, you know, around BookTube, just a little bit. No, but I do have a review on this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I already finished it, but I think that this book is specifically for Twilight fans, and if you are a big Twilight fan, then you will enjoy it, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you're one of those people. Probably shouldn't read this if you haven't read Twilight though, just a warning. The next book that I picked up is The Dark Tide by Alicia Jasinska. This book's cover, can we just give it a moment? It is literally the prettiest cover that I've seen in a while. Like, I am in love with this cover. The gold is like shiny, looks like the sea, the moon's in the different phases. I love it. It's just so pleasing to me. I literally want to display it on my shelf. Anyway, this book is about a girl whose name is Lena, and she is part of a witch clan type of thing, and every year they have to sacrifice a boy for their whole witch, I don't even know, okay, but they have to sacrifice a boy. That's the main thing. And Lena is like, oh no, they're gonna take my brother. And then she gets her friend Thomas, I think his name is Thomas, her friend Thomas, to help her make sure that they don't take her brother. And then they're like, oh no, we're gonna take Thomas, let's sacrifice Thomas. But Lena is in love with Thomas. So that whole plot sounds so interesting to me, and I cannot wait. I just want to see if Thomas dies, or what Lena, the depth she will go to save him. I'm really excited about this one, and it has witches, which is super cool, and I can't get over this. I cannot get over this cover. It's so pretty, oh my gosh. The next book that I picked up is Lobizona by Romina Garber. This book is about our main character, whose name is Manuela, and she is an undocumented immigrant running away from her father's Argentinian family kind of thing. It seems very intense, okay? And let me just read you this one line that really stood out to me and made me really interested. It says, a world straight out of Argentinian folklore where the 7th consecutive daughter is born a bruja, a witch, and the 7th consecutive son is a lobizon, a werewolf. A world where her unusual eyes allow her to belong. I am so intrigued by that line. It just makes me want to read it so bad, and this cover is absolutely beautiful. And her eyes, if you look, they're yellow and they have stars on them, and it's just, I don't even know. I'm so excited to learn about her story and see what this is all about. This is also another one that has a beautiful cover. These new releases that just came out the past few months are just killing it with the covers. I am in love with this one as well. The next book I picked up is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I don't know how to say that, I'm so sorry. I've heard everyone talking about this book, and I just want to see what all the hype's about. It's a pretty thick book, and I know it's a deep fantasy, which is right up my alley. I love to read those, so I'm excited to see what all the hype is about. I especially wanted to read this because my friend TB was talking about it, and he had read it, so I'm very interested, and I was asking him how it is and whatever. So I saw it at the bookstore and I decided to pick it up, and yeah, I hope it's worth it. I hope it's really good so I can buy all the rest of them, because these covers are actually really cute, and I don't know, I'm just hoping that this will be worth my time because it's so long. The next book I picked up was White Rage by Carol Anderson. This book is about racial injustice, specifically the long lineage of white rage in American history, but like the back says, it adds a vital new dimension to the national conversation about race in America. I think that reading books like this, especially right now, is super important, and I've been wanting to pick up some nonfiction work that can educate me more on certain topics that I'm not completely educated about. And I feel like this was a good one because I saw quite a few people talking about it, but I still want to read it for myself and see how it goes, and I don't read too many nonfiction books, so I'm excited that I'm branching out and doing that. and especially while I do that, I'm still getting to read a super important book that I really have been wanting to read. So we'll see how this one goes. Now I'll probably go a little quicker and just get into some other books that I've picked up recently. But the next one is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. This one is the second book in the Ember and the Ashes trilogy, Ember and the Ashes series. I don't know, I think there's more than 3 actually. But I have an Ember and the Ashes, the first book, in a like really ugly edition. It's not this white cover, but it's like the original, I think. But I want to eventually just collect all of the white paperbacks because I think they would look better having the same ones on my shelf. But I haven't read Ember and the Ashes, so I can't even tell you what this is about at all. But a lot of people have read it, and a lot of people say it's underhyped, that like people need to talk about it and need to read it more, and I really need to read it. I think after I finish A Darker Shade of Magic, I will definitely pick up this one because I've been wanting to read it for so long, and it has a lot of aspects that I think I want to read. Like, I've heard a little bit about it and I'm really excited to get to it, so maybe having the second one will make me like want to pick up the first one because I already have like more of the series, you know. Maybe not, I don't know, I just really want to read it. Next I picked up Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. This is the sequel to The Savage Song, which I haven't read, but this came into the bookstore and I was like, well, I'm gonna need the sequel whenever I read the first one, so I might as well pick it up, so I did. Next I have The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This book has been pretty talked about amongst booktube and I'm really excited. This cover is also super pretty. I think this one is about like a group of people thrown together in like a team, kind of like a misfit group of people who all have like different skills. They're all thrown together to retrieve a artifact, like a historical artifact or something like that. I don't know, but I'm super excited because I love books like that with like a little bit of mystery but like a lot of adventure and like going on like a heist or something. Like, I'm super excited about it, so I can't wait to get to this one as well. So next I also picked up his Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. The first one is called The Golden Compass, and the second one is The Subtle Knife, and then we have The Amber Spyglass. These are pretty old, like I think they all came out early 2000s, and they're a young reader, like maybe middle grade or something like that. It's not like super old young adult or new adult, but I've heard so many good things about this series and I never read it when I was younger, so I feel like I really need to. And I've just talked to so many people who come into the bookstore that I work at and they just tell me about it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And then we had this matching set and I was like, I have to buy it because I didn't want anybody else to buy it before I could, and I'm just really excited to get to these. So I also picked up Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. This book I am super excited about because I've heard quite a bit about it. It's a dark fantasy, definitely like adult fantasy, and it's about a group of mercenaries who used to be like really renowned in their town, or whatever a town would be in this like setting of a fantasy world. And so they're all older men now, and one of their like old bandmates shows up and is like, hey, we need to like get the band back together and go on like one more journey, and like we need to do something, right? And so all of these like older men are like, I don't know about that, like our days are past, you know? But then like they do, and it's like a last like hurrah, and they get back together, and I think that it's something about one of their daughters has been kidnapped, or they have to help out their daughter. But there's a sequel to this book about the daughter and her own like group of mercenaries or something. It's just really interesting. I heard about it from Piera. I think she's just Piera Ford on BookTube, but it's like really cool. I love watching her. And I just had to pick it up, and I could not have a haul without having some sort of dark, heavy fantasy, you know, because that's just like what I love to read, like absolutely my favorite. So I'm so excited to pick this one up. If you can't tell, like I'm just happy to have it in my possession. Like I just want to read it now, but I have so many other things to get to. But honestly, it's like kind of big letters. I feel like I get through this one pretty fast. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just so excited. So I won a giveaway on Instagram by Stone Author, and she actually sent me a bookish box of like random goodies from like different bookish box subscriptions, and it's just honestly the nicest thing, and I love everything in there. There's like bookmarks and like a tray from like the Lunar Chronicles, just a bunch of stuff. But she also sent me 2 books, which I'm so happy about. And the first one that she sent me is called Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. This one is about a girl whose name is Jenna Sarah, and she is the second in line to the throne. Like her father is a king, her older brother is the first in line, and he inherited the magical powers in their family. Like, you know, that actually kind of sucks. Like that would suck really bad if you didn't get the powers. Anyway, So she doesn't have powers. So her father's like, okay, well, you gotta be useful somehow, Janicera. Like, I'm sorry. So you're gonna go marry a prince. So she gets sent off to marry this prince, and while she's in like her caravan going to the prince, to her betrothed, somebody like ambushes the caravan, and she learns a lot of secrets about the kingdom and the world that she's living in, and she's like has to grapple with what she's gonna do with that information. I hope that she still gets to meet the prince, and I hope that there's romance in here. Doesn't really sound like there is, but I'm hoping, like, I'm just really hoping. But this one is, I think, a special edition because it's signed and it has black sprayed edges, so I'm not sure if it's like how different it is from a normal copy that you could buy somewhere. But I love this green color, and I think this cover is really pretty as well, and this spine art is cute because it has the same thing from the cover. I love that little detail. But yeah, this one sounds pretty interesting. I'll probably wait to pick it up because it's definitely not super high on my list. I've never heard of it before, but eventually I do want to get to it because it sounds really good. I think there was one line that stuck out to me as well. Oh yeah, on the back it says, "How was I to find my place in a new land when I couldn't find a place among my own people?" Mood. So she also sent me A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy, and I am so excited about this one because I think I've heard quite a few people talk about it, but not lately. I don't know. This cover, so good. I just have so many pretty covers today. I don't even know. This haul is just filled with gorgeous designed covers. This one really piqued my interest because it's a fantasy and it has to do with like blood magic, and I really love any fantasies that have their own magic system and their own fantasy world and just a lot of things created. I love to read fantasies like that, so I'm really excited to read this one. But this one is about a princess whose name is Ava, and she has these powers that have not been seen in her family for like generations, and all of a sudden she has them. And I think like the only other person to have them was like the queen from a long time ago who like killed thousands of people. And so Ava has these powers, and then her older sister is also like vying for the throne or something, and so she's going against her own sister. And I think that power is going to be a definite theme in this book because this line on the back says, "Power has always inspired fear," and I really like that, and so I'm interested to see where that goes and if Ava can kill her sister or if she's, you know, too nice to do that. But I don't know, from this cover, you know, she doesn't look that nice, so we'll see how that goes. Finally, I have two more books to show you guys, and they are both in the same series. This one is The Iron Daughter by Julie Kagawa, and then The Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa. These are books 2 and 3, I believe, in the Iron Face series, and I have the first one, and I want to read it so bad. Like, I know, everybody talks about it. Everybody that I've heard that has read it has said it is so good, and I need to get to it so soon. Like, it's honestly high up there. I promise I'm gonna read it. But yeah, these came into the bookstore and I got them for really cheap, so I had to get them. So now I have the first trilogy and I can read them all as soon as I finish the first one and the second one, and just like read them all in order super fast. So I'm super excited about these, and I just need somebody to like force me to start the series so I can finish them all. Okay, so that was all the books that I had. It's kind of a lot now that I'm looking at the stack on the ground and wondering where I'm gonna put them on my shelves. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these down below and tell me like which ones I should read first. Also, if you've watched all the way to the end, comment a blue heart because I just want to know. I'm very curious who actually watches my entire videos. Go ahead and follow me on like Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads. They're all linked down below in the description box, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you liked this video. Hope you liked this video down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!